It's they're just scary, man. Like vengeance demon hunters aren't. I mean, vengeance demon hunters were like the havocs, only they were tanky, but they still hit like a truck. And it was just like, what the fuck is this?
Hi, everybody.
I was about to say, Dennis makes it sound like he's listening here.
Hello.
Yeah, he was kind of looking all.
Whatever. Anyways,
we weren't looking at the queue.
Apparently. Hi, welcome to the Har Har Podcast.
Let's raise a glass to being able to say that.
I am gonna open. Yeah, no, this is good. We're back. We haven't been back for a little bit. Hi, Stardust.
refill.
So I'm gonna open. I read this off stream to two of these people, and I'm gonna read it real quick. I'm gonna open my bottle of Safe Word Mead. Is what it's called.
Oh.
This craft beverage is seductive and full of surprises. Safe Word pushes the limits of liquid gratification as honey and Belgium dark candy syrup are tied together and then disciplined in a bourbon barrel until they are released for your pleasure. Enjoy the adventure waiting for you within this bottle, and remember, don't forget the safe word.
I feel like I need to save my safe word now.
What
made
is
me
your
feel
safe
so
word?
awkward.
I think I'm not drunk enough.
Oklahoma.
Pineapple.
Oklahoma.
I was about to say, a lot of people, it's pineapple.
Mine's pineapple.
It's pineapple.
Hey, fuck off! You're damn right, it's pineapple.
I don't know where that came from, but I started hearing that in college in Flagstaff, where one of my friends, whenever he was starting to feel inappropriate around people because they were like messing with him, he'd be like, pineapples, pineapple, and it'd be like, oh, that's a safe word.
All right, so I haven't popped this open since I bought it.
Oh,
Wow,
it wasn't
so
as dramatic.
I'm about to say, I'm expecting. That's so disappointing.
Pop or something.
I thought it would pop too, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Which makes me concerned suddenly.
It's not a carbonated beverage, is it?
No, it's not supposed to be. It's a wine.
It should be fine then.
So yeah, it should be fine.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Enjoy.
Well, if we don't hear from you later,
Or
We
tomorrow.
understand what happened. Yeah.
Let's give it a full 24 hours, and if we don't hear back from them,
I'm not pouring a lot because I'm gonna make sure that it's still good. Yeah. Cheers to that.
Woo! We're back, baby.
Need to refill my glass. No. Mistakes were made.
dude, like only you is stopping you right now. Like,
I will be right
You
back.
had
I need
plenty of
another.
time.
That is not how I remember it tasting.
Not all of us are troublemakers, Dragon. Just
Which
four of us.
Should that be concerning? That is not how I remember it. It's definitely got alcohol in it, though. Oh, it's. I am warm now. By the way, hi, Dragon.
oh,
Also,
after a sip,
that apparently.
what is in this?
I don't know.
What's wrong with
Shut
Dev
up,
is the question.
Dude, I can drink
Who's the person
tequila.
on the top right. Who is in the top right? I didn't even. Oh.
It's me. Best
I should do our introductions. Hi, I'm DorkyDev. I'm your host. Today I've got right below me, I've got Shriecups. Next to him will be Eclectic Jim. Next to him is CaverJay. And above him is IlLiztrated. God damn it. IlLiztrated.
You
Jesus.
are a lizard.
Okay, we need to go to the same starting screen. Dev needs to redo all of that.
All right.
What happened?
Hold on. One
Start
second.
over.
Just end the shoot.
Start over.
Okay,
Do
okay,
it.
okay. 5,
Wait, is he
4,
actually doing it? Oh my god.
3,
Oh my god.
2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Har Har Podcast
Oh
for a
my
very long
God.
time. I'm your host, DorkyDev. Below me is Shriek Hubs. Next to him is Eclectic. Next to him, CaverJay. And above him is IlLiztrated.
There
Hi.
you go.
Totally didn't fuck it up the first time. Hello.
Try every time.
Yeah, I don't know if this is safe to
Nailed
drink.
it.
If it's like that, like it was like a rum warm.
All right, here's the thing.
No, you're fine.
Like, if you
It's
have to
supposed
ask
to be
the
a
question,
13%. No, it's supposed to be a 13%.
The longer it ferments, the better it is, obviously. So if it's been
That-
sitting there for years, you're fine.
Dude, that's not how it's supposed to smell. I think I fucked up, yo. I don't think that's supposed to be how meat
okay,
smells.
look, Dev, you
It's
got,
supposed to smell
you got
sweet.
two options. You got two options. Option number
Ooh,
one is you commit.
I'm not
and you
committing to
quit
that. That's a
whining.
bad idea.
Second
I'm gonna go
option
buy
is
a
you get
beer.
something else.
I'm gonna go get a beer. I'll be right back. You guys.
You have a BRB bar. Like what? Like
Yeah,
what's
that's
on
all
that?
liquor.
No.
So,
He can't be hungover. He has to wake up at 4 in the morning. Remember?
That sounds like his problem.
Mhm.
It is, and I'm trying not to make it my problem. You little shit.
Hey, Frankie. How are you?
Motherfuckers. God.
Look at those legs. All right. So what's up? How's everybody doing?
Ah man,
You're doing all right.
glad to be back, man.
Mhm, mhm.
It is nice to be back here. I've been. I thought this was gonna happen last week, but it was this week.
I got so sad. It's so sad because Dev, as good as communicating as he is, it's like, "Are you free this Friday?" That's what he fucking said.
I thought it was this Friday, too.
Said this. It's like last week, this Friday. I'm like, let's do it.
Let's go. But then nope. Now we're here. But at least we're finally here, and we're finally doing the podcast. And
I want one to burst on him.
Warriors!
Like he's
Alright.
shaking. He'll bring it. He brings it on. I want it to volcano. What's up, Dev?
Sup?
how's everybody? What are we doing?
I don't know what I'm
I don't know
doing.
what to talk about.
Oh, we haven't had a podcast conversation in how long? It's time. we have probably built up at least 6 stories each of some
I wrote
sort.
down 2 that I wanted to talk about today.
I mean, it would be 6 each if we weren't on quarantine.
Oh, that's our
Like-
life. That's what we'll talk about. Quarantine life.
You know what? That's a good first topic. How is everyone's quarantine life? Because I don't
Not-
have that, so
I'm
I'm
about to say
curious
I
what
kind
it
of
is.
don't either. I have more of it now because after much fighting and convincing, finally convinced. So, I work for an IT company which supports a shipping distribution company. So finally we talked our boss into allowing us to do rotations, unbeknownst to the management of the shipping company, because the shipping company management is all like, "No, we need on-site tech presence." I'm like, "Why? 90% of your staff are work from home. Like, what do you want?" And so yeah, it's this whole big thing. And so off and on, back and forth. We're talking to the boss. I'm talking to my boss, and blah 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 blah. And usually I'm the guy that is very polite and I know you can't tell from me usually, but like I'm actually
I was like,
the
at
polite
work and
one.
real life
the
are
apologetic. Yeah,
completely
real life
No,
at
true.
work. I'm
That's very
actually
true.
like very, very tame. Very like, my boss has called me out multiple times for messing stuff up.
Mhm.
Some of it was actually my fault. Most of it wasn't. I still apologize for all of it. And I was like, all right, my bad. Yeah, here's what happened. Blah, 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 blah. And, very cool, very chill about things. And then this started happening. I was like, okay, listen, we need to do something about this. We need to, I will not pretend and say that my area is like horribly bad, because I am blessed to be in an area that's not, like, could be
Mhm.
way worse. I fully acknowledge it. I'm very thankful to be where I am. That being said, the fact that the total lack of regard of my safety and my teammate safety and all this other stuff. It just kept building and building and building and building, and it just got. I got more fed up and more fed up and more fed up, and so finally I started speaking my mind, almost entirely unfiltered.
Ooh.
I feel you on that.
And so it was basically, it's to the point to where, my boss was like, the company says this, and so my hands are tied, and so finally, and this is all a text-based chat, and so finally I respond to essentially along the lines of then the company doesn't care about our safety and well-being, and that means it kind of falls on you because, we need someone to watch our back here because right now we got nobody. We got nobody vouching for us right now. And blah, 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 and he shuts down, and he says he can't do anything. So finally we did a week where I actually unofficially with another coworker was rotating anyway. Like only one of us was going into the office and the other was working remotely because we had the capability to do so. That's the other dumb part. We have the full capabilities to work remotely. And he was like, oh no, we can't do that. I'm like, so we're doing it unofficially and we're both on site for the meeting, which is a virtual meeting. And because I got there's some of us here, there's some of us way the frick over here. I mean, all over the country, all over the world. We got people everywhere. But my team is the US team. So we got people all over the country. And my boss is in Germany or the Philippines, one of the two. Like he goes between them.
Oh, I was like, how?
He lives in the Philippines. He lives in the Philippines, but it's a German-based company. So the main HQ.
Okay, that makes sense.
When I can actually talk and give you more details about it, it's even more confusing. All right. So this is the Cliff Notes version. And so finally we have this meeting and we can actually audibly air our grievances, and to which I proceed to do, and still getting nowhere. And so finally, and then he says two things in the meeting that trigger me because we keep talking about rotation stuff. He's like, we can't just expect to be able to sit at home and as contractors and get money from the company because they're nice. Was one of the things he said. And then the other thing he said was, and I'm opening the floor for suggestions to what we can do here, but none of you are giving me anything. So finally I'm just like, okay. So I unmute my mic and I proceed to lay into him. It was just very brutally honest about the situation and how everybody's handled it and this other stuff, and I won't bother going into details on it, but suffice to say, it took me about 20 minutes to get my heart rate back to normal after I was done.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's one of these things to where, I held back the reins enough to where I did keep it professional and it was valid, but at the same time, it's this is in the territory of any other boss in any other situation could contemplate letting me go at that point because it is borderline insubordinate. But at the same time, and he would have had more of a leg to stand on had literally not everybody else in the team, had they not done this, but they all chimed in and was like, yeah, we agree with everything Jay just said. Cool, appreciate it.
That's good, at least.
That's actually a big deal because I am also teamed up with a bunch of people who in these meetings are antisocial and who are afraid to say anything when our boss is in the meeting. And I'm just like, you guys are help me out here. And they finally did for the first time since I got hired on almost a year ago.
Hey. No, I feel you on that because I've been less professional at work with my language in the back room. I'll admit that. Because lately it's just been during this, you can tell who's not pulling their weight, and it's dangerous if you're not able to pull your weight right now because of the amount of workload there is for everything. Because working retail in an essentials area at a time like this is nuts. And yeah, so I get you on that. I've been to my bosses. I've been like, this currently is unacceptable, and I'm not gonna pull their weight. I'm not doing this. I count myself lucky that safety wise, for essentially being on the front lines, they're helping us be as safe as possible. They're providing masks, they're providing gloves, they're providing cleaning and sanitizer stuff. They're providing workers with resources for that kind of stuff. So. it's saying something kind of weird that a giant mega corporation like Target's doing that rather than where you work, but which
Yeah, because we don't even get that. Which
Yeah.
I've told you this plenty of
That's
stream and
crazy.
but
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
so,
I
like,
count myself
we
lucky
got-
right there.
we have a bottle of hand sanitizer which is almost empty. I
Mhm.
got like a 3/4 canister of Clorox wipes left after using the first one. And for the record, I stole this one from a meeting room. Yeah, because no one's using meetings anymore, and I
Mhm.
just happened to be walking by it, and I stopped, looked back, and was like, "Those are Clorox wipes." Looked around and walked in, grabbed them, walked back to the office.
Might as well.
Right?
Yeah,
It's just gonna sit there, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was proud of it. I was like, hey, what happened? There's security cameras all over the place too, so it's like
At the point, just wave.
if I'm ever questioned, it's like, yeah,
I needed
you
them.
know-
Yeah.
What do you
what are you
want?
gonna do?
Yeah, what do you want?
What do you want me to do? Just,
Like, why don't you go take some more from the stock that you're not giving me? Because I know you got
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, that's
See, I'm really fortunate because my boss was like, "Hey, if you guys need anything, we can order toilet paper, paper towel, like anything.
Yeah, same.
Just let me know."
Like, my boss has said something to that effect, but I just don't believe a damn word he says.
Oh, so my boss
that's
is
fair.
an angel, and I stand by that statement.
Is very what?
My boss is an angel, and I stand by that
Oh, well,
statement.
good.
Mm.
See, that's the thing. Like, again, ultimately, our situation is not all that dire. I got as of the moment, I got everything I need, and plus, social distancing, being careful,
Mhm.
with caution, all this other stuff. Again, I'm good. I'm in a good position, like as is pretty much everybody in that warehouse if they're careful and show common sense. So
that's a big
Same.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of lack of common sense lately with stuff.
oh my god, so much, man.
Dude, it's
So-
silly.
Blows my mind.
It's I don't know whether to be impressed or like disgusted or both. Probably both. At the
both.
sheer lack of
any
just
any
sense.
form of
Mhm.
see, impressed implies praise, and I will not give any of that any kind of praise. So I lean on the disgusted side of things.
Yeah.
Oh no, I lean on the
Or
disgusted.
shocked. Shocked or disgusted.
Shocked
yeah.
is probably
Shocked,
better.
yeah,
Shocked is a
even
good one.
shocked
There we
because
go.
working in the IT industry, you definitely don't see the best and brightest who give you calls, and so when I
So are
mean,
you sure it's plugged in?
yes.
Have you
right?
tried
I
turning
mean,
it off and back on again?
Come
Oh, fucking
on,
man.
man. A freaking upper management guy. So like the human resources department, their VP opens up a ticket one day and says our main guy, blah blah blah, like, I don't want to name names, but this guy steals her office every time he comes in because he demands to have an office space of his own, and so she has to volunteer as tribute to give up her office space for the
Mhm.
duration of his stay, which is about a week at a time.
That's a dick move.
Oh my gosh, this guy is the embodiment of that. I mean, and so he calls her one day because she's not even on site yet. Calls her, ranting and raving. So I'm told, that he's not able to use the docking station. That he can't see nothing on the other screens with his laptop, and blah 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 blah. So,
Mhm.
she opens a ticket on his behalf. That's another thing. This guy's a pretentious prick. Can't even open his own damn ticket. And so said, "Hey, so and so," like calls his name so that we know this is important.
Mhm.
That he can't do this and blah blah blah. In the span of time that this took, by the time the ticket before it even fully got processed, I get a call from the shipping company's on-site IT guy, who is kind of our liaison between their company and mine. I get a call from him, and then I get a text from my boss about this issue. Like, "Hey, I know you're the one on site right now. Could you please go look at this guy because he, the blah, 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 blah." So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. At the time, I'm not aware of all the stupid yet.
Mhm.
I go, and the time it takes me to walk from my office to his, he has figured out the issue for himself. I walk in there and I'm like, yeah, you're having trouble with this? And he's like, oh yeah, it was just unplugged. I plugged it in. Okay. You need anything else? No, I'm good. Okay, cool. I leave. I calmly shut the door and I'm just like,
Yeah.
what the? Oh my God.
I've been there. Not in that degree, but
Yeah.
Jesus
Was-
Christ.
Oh my. So I've also broke rules because you're not supposed to have company contacts, personal cell that they're supposed to be able to reach out to you.
Mhm.
I got the VP, I got the assistant person at the HR department, I got this person, I got that person, because I'm like, there's so much stupid goes on here that like these people need a hand. It's like, yeah, sure, take it. I don't care. I trust you. You won't abuse it.
Call at 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't know why my fax machine isn't sending anything right now.
They know
Well,
better.
it's because you're using
They
a fax
know better.
machine.
I've had one call. I've actually had a call over the weekend to which I ignored the call.
Mhm.
And they left me a voicemail. And they're like, listen, I'm so sorry. I know it's the weekend, blah, blah, blah. I won't do this again, but I was just wondering if you knew about this. And I didn't respond to the message until Monday because I'm like, no, harsh lesson here because I'm not. No. Which they got the point, but it was. It's so dumb, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that.
Oh, so most of us here, have been playing games during these trying times.
Yeah.
What?
I feel very called out right now.
We're all gamers here. You don't have to
Mhm,
worry.
mhm,
No,
mhm.
you've been playing a game. I know what game you've been playing.
Yeah, that's true. I just don't have a PC right now.
Yeah. So what has been your go-to as of late?
Animal Crossing.
Call of Duty.
Just Call of Duty in general, or
Yeah,
specifically the
Animal
BR?
Crossing.
The BR, yeah, I've been playing a lot of the BR.
Oh, man.
I've been playing Animal Crossing and Call of Duty, I think.
That's the thing. Like,
Purely been
definitely.
playing Animal Crossing. It has consumed my soul.
You know,
Tom Nook
Animal-
is now my father.
He is a crime lord.
I mean,
Yeah, I was about to say,
It needs
Tom
to be
Nook is,
taken
Nook
down.
is your father and the one who owns
Tyrant,
your soul.
Tyrant Raccoon and
Exactly.
Star just put it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, Star essentially owns the island that I get to play on, and so I play some Animal Crossing when she's not playing.
Mhm.
Though I will admit, Animal Crossing has done the thing that I thought impossible. I now want my own Switch because I want my own island.
Hey, fun fact, from what I've heard, if you get your own island, you should be able to get your own all the stuff that you've learned and take it over there. So, because if you use your same
Which-
profile,
Which would be cool, which I intend to.
Interesting.
And but I definitely, because like I wasn't all about building, you know, everything up. I was like, okay, cool,
Mhm.
you know, I'll play on it, but that's like the satisfaction of getting the store and the museum and all this other stuff. I'm like, dang,
Get the light.
I put in a lot of work into this.
what's happening to me, man? No, she's put a lot of work into it. Like I'm just here reaping all the benefits. I got all the good tool DIYs in a day. Like I was like, dang it, man.
I'm just enjoying the game. It's pretty good.
As he's,
Oh.
as he's just like checking out everything, making sure.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
God.
really happy with the
Can we
results
just
I've gotten.
Talk about the Bunny Day Bunny.
No, fuck that bunny.
Freaky.
Steven watched that night. I swear to God. Kill the wabbit. Kill the wabbit. I was chanting that night because it was like day 2. Because I played for 2
Oh
days
my
and he was
gosh.
there for both days. That fucking
What
bunny.
a
That
what a
fucking
time to
goddamn
join.
evil bunny. I am
Oh,
going
Tiffany,
like
Hoppity.
So creepy.
I'm literally going to make. Was it
Oh my
Tiffany that
God.
has one already? That has the shrine set up to the war memory of the War of the Bunnies room.
You
And
what?
you're on your island. She has a room with all the DIYs. I'm gonna make that too, but I'm also gonna add
she,
into there.
She has a bunny day room. Like the entire room is bunny day, and that was also what my whole house was, because it was just the one room. And so I'm like, fuck it, bunny day wall, bunny day bed, and I'm looking at this. I mean, this is so ridiculous.
I said no. It is not going in there. The only thing that went in there was the fucking wardrobe, because I didn't have a wardrobe yet. Because I wasn't that far in the game yet.
Frankie wants to know why he came back to kill the wabbit, because we wanted to kill the wabbit in Animal Crossing, Frankie. We wanted to kill the wabbit.
Kill the wabbit. Kill the wabbit.
I just remember I was sitting there and my boyfriend called me and he's like, go on Animal Crossing right now. And I was like, dude, I need to go to work. And he's like, no. Work and leave. You need to go on Animal Crossing. So naturally I go on Animal Crossing.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, I need to get those turnip prices for the day. And
I can't forget those again this week.
And so
I was so sad.
I
was so sad.
Oh yeah, I missed last week. Or
you missed your turnip game?
See, I didn't have turnips available yet because I still was too early in the game on that Sunday, on my last Sunday. So
blame.
It's fine. I've made a lot of. I have all the. I got all the fruit in one day, so I'll take it.
Which is
the guy that I used to work with gave them all to me.
I got all the fruit. I got all the DIYs I really need. I have and in day 3, I got the one-piece hat. So I'm Luffy pre-time jump already. I just need the sandals. And so, I'm proud of the progress I've made in less than a week. No, it's a week tonight is when I got it set up.
How many hours do you think you have total on that so far?
I could check.
Oh.
Dev, tell me how many hours I have on it, because I think it's like 64.
I have a fair amount
more than that,
by now as well.
So I have a friend.
The day came out.
I was playing Call of Duty for 2 weeks, 3 weeks straight. I have 120 hours, and the amount of time they put into Animal Crossing was like 140 so far within a couple days. So they haven't been sleeping. They've just been playing all day.
Yeah, but I'll say, listen, the math's not adding up here. Dragon has 100.
It's only giving me the first. It's only giving me first played 6 days ago, so I don't know if it's going to give me that information yet. But Liz, you've played 40 hours or more.
That's it.
That's
it.
it.
I got. I don't think I have that much. I
20 hours or more.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh.
Wow.
Switch. How does one play?
Well, for me, it wasn't gonna be, but I was like, Star has 80, so they got.
No, I've been
literally played for a fourth of the time she has.
I've been taking it to work though. I took it the first week. I took it with me to work, and my coworkers were like, "Oh, you're taking it with you to work now?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just locking it in my locker at work." And then my 15 and my 30.
Myself and the other manager sit at work during like our lunchtime, or just when we have downtime. We sit there and play on each other's islands.
My gosh, I would kill for management. Half that cool.
I'm the other manager. There's 2 managers.
Well, see, my manager literally said, "Hey, you can go into the store lead's office and play." Since I'm not a lead, but everyone considers me a lead, so I just hang out in the lead office from time to time. So I'm literally just in the lead office on my break, like, oh, I need this. I need this escape.
40 minutes later, you're like, "Oh shit, I was 10 minutes late."
No. One, our lunches are not on the clock, so even if I'm late, I'm not taking company time at that point. And 2, I only take 15s when I'm not taking 30-minute lunch, so
that's good.
I don't break company rules. Most of the time.
I feel like
rules,
because
so.
Animal Crossing isn't explicitly mentioned, that doesn't necessarily mean you're following here.
Hey, we're people bring other stuff in. We've had video game days at work, where they allowed people to bring in consoles and stuff like that. Because it'd be like on a Sunday because it's a slow day. So people would bring in like consoles and just hang out in the break room when they were there.
Star texted me a picture today bragging that she works remote, and they were playing bingo. Like during a team meeting, I guess, or
Oh,
meeting, they were like, let's play bingo, and then they had like a digital version of bingo for stuff. I think it was actually themed for their company too, if I read the card correctly. And I was like, what the fuck? It's a weekly fun meeting. It's just said in the chat, weekly fun meeting.
See, the first day I had my island open, all my coworkers came, like, we started hanging out on each other's islands. Like, I went to my friend's island and like 4 other coworkers were there. I'm like, oh, hey, this is like, we can hang out together without hanging out together now. Yay. I don't have to go out to hang out with my friends.
Yeah, a couple of my previous coworkers and I, back in my, unfortunately, my GameStop days, and I play together.
Yeah. How are they doing?
Dark times.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, they're essential in
It's
GameStop.
so
My bad. A nondescript video game retailer for legal purposes.
Very specific video game retailer. Who's
Probably the most
nondescript.
popular in America, but
One of the only ones left.
I was about to say, like, how many are there anymore?
you
Like,
guys remember Hastings?
We didn't have
These
that.
things.
Oh, you didn't have Hastings? It was the best place ever.
I never had it
Okay,
either.
so imagine not only having your gaming, but your comic books, regular books, your music, your movies, your
cards.
your like Magic and D&D, posters, random merch, all in one place. And sometimes they would hold tournaments there for some games.
I wish we had that. That would be pretty cool.
It was one of the
was great.
coolest places ever.
They
Talk about
would.
the new Magic set that just dropped.
Sure, I love talking Magic, even though I don't know much about it anymore.
I don't
So
know
I'm
anything
not
about
a-
Magic.
I'm
Hold
not
on one
obsessed with
second.
it too, but I always like hearing about good new stuff.
Okay, I guess we can talk about it because I'm the only.
Like
No, like we play it, and it's just
I look
Mhm.
up a lot of Magic lore because I want a D&D Magic game, but
ooh.
like DM a D&D Magic game, but I don't play the current sets at the moment, sadly.
I have a whole drawer next to me full of Magic cards. That
Magic-
makes me so happy to
I
have.
miss my Magic. Like the 2 best decks I ever owned got stolen from me, and I never
Oh,
really
bummer.
had the gumption to rebuild after that.
I have a
Oh, where is
mono
my
black
best deck? Where
Liliana
did I
tribal
put it?
commander currently.
I've never played Commander. Like, that's the thing I've
Oh,
always
It's pretty
avoided.
fun. It's actually really entertaining.
I played it a couple times.
Commander wasn't
Yeah.
quite for me. I was more for the competitive, like modern and standard.
Modern and standard.
I
So
was
currently
not-
my favorite format is Pioneer, but I do really like Commander.
I like how I'm not the only head turn there. Thank you. Pioneer.
I actually don't. Well, I don't know what
Pioneers
Pioneer
new
is. To
came
be
out
honest.
this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I have no idea
So
what it
it's
is.
standard, but it goes back to.
It's not
2012
modern,
sets,
but
I
it's
think?
not standard.
Standard. Gotcha. Oh, that's new.
Okay.
That's new then.
Yeah, so it goes back to Ravnica, I think.
I think
Return
so.
to
Yeah, I don't
Ravnica?
remember, honestly.
Or Ravnica
No, just
the first
Ravnica.
time.
Just
oh.
the original Ravnica.
Oh.
So
yeah,
what?
so it goes back to like 2012 or something.
Because
and it's
modern
the same-
goes-
What years?
Yeah, modern goes back to 8th generation, which was I think like 90 something,
Yeah.
but I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Well, it would have
Oh,
been
wow.
2001, I think.
That sounds about right.
And then standard's
Yeah.
always the last 3 core
Six
sets?
sets,
6
basically.
sets? I thought it was
It's the
three.
last 2 years.
Okay.
I remember when I first got heavy into Magic, they were like, "It's like, would you ever do like tournaments and stuff?" And like all the other tournament rules I would ever see were like standard rules. I'm like, no, and for that reason.
Yeah,
Well,
standard
see,
just
like,
phases out too
when-
fast for me.
Yeah, no, I would never do
Yeah.
standard.
when you play Magic on a budget, you cannot compete in standard.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah,
You just can't do it.
like I played Magic for 4 years and I played it competitively in those 4 years, and then I stopped, and there was like a 4-year gap or 2 or 4 year gap probably that I just completely stopped, and I just recently picked it up about a year ago.
Yeah,
so it's
I,
weird to like get back into it because I have no
Oh,
idea what's
man.
happening.
I haven't
Like,
played
the rules
because
are different, the sets are different.
there's no one that I know besides one person that I could play with, and I'm like, like, I don't want to make more new friends. I already like. Hey, I have my
We can
coworkers.
Discord Magic nights.
He said,
Wow.
he got me, and he started questioning new
No,
friends.
no. See, there's a difference. I like getting new friends through like this kind of stuff because like it's a very unique kind of friendship you get. And in some ways, it like it's not quite like I wouldn't. It feels more personal even though it's over online, like some of the friends I've gotten through this, I would say I'm closer friends with than people I've known longer by years.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not great in regular social situations when it's me, maybe one other person I know, and nobody else I know. Like, that puts me in a spot where I'm like, I don't know what person here. I don't know what to say. So, if I can avoid that, that's kind of what I do. Honestly.
Karen.
I still miss, like, in college, I went to Magic the Gathering tournaments basically every day. My store did Friday night Magics, which was standard. Tuesday was modern. Wednesday and Thursday were like drafting and stuff like that. Drafting I didn't do so often, only because it was $15 compared to a constructed build was only $5 a night. So I did that usually more often. But I did so much Magic, it's ridiculous. And I stopped because it got too expensive. But modern, man, and like in real life, like right now, I've been trying to build a modern deck for the past like 4 years.
I don't like modern. My brain is not smart enough for it.
I have a modern deck that I love.
Yeah, modern is my favorite format, only because I love combo decks, and you can build the most ridiculous combo decks that aren't super expensive in legacy formats. But
they're still pretty pricey though, aren't they? I would assume.
Really
depending on what you're going with, yeah.
Yeah. So like, I've been trying to build Amulet Bloom or Amulet Titan, but every single time I go to build that deck, it's nerfed. Where they get rid of Summer Bloom, so you can't play 3 lands in a turn. And then just now, I was building a Karn focused amulet deck where he can summon artifacts. Most specifically, he summons microscopic whatever field where all lands become artifacts and they can't be used. And that card was nerfed. So that very specific build that I was building is no longer able to be built because it's nerfed. So
I feel like this happens to you a lot.
Yeah.
Just prior to this show, your Hearth you were using.
Your deck on
I'm still playing Hearthstone right now because I'm bitter.
Well, see, to go back a little bit.
Stuff nerfed in that, like,
see, to go back a little though,
it doesn't get nerfed until you play it. Like, you ever think of that?
Steven,
because I'm so
the
good.
curse.
The way Steven was talking about Magic, by the way, like that entire part of the conversation where he's like, yeah, I did Magic for like 3 years. You know, I was every day and spending like $15. You know, it just got too expensive. I'm like, man,
drug.
Magic is a fucking drug, 100%.
No, literally,
It is. I still hold on to my heirlooms from those days. You know,
I think I spent like $3,000 in playing Magic.
Okay, you
There's
legit
a
have a problem.
I
was
he had a problem,
about
trust
Magic
me.
as a drug until just now.
No,
stopped
trust me.
playing it.
No, the friends group we had, that was like low end. I was probably the lowest end, spending probably maybe $1,000 on Magic. On just boxes. That's not counting cards I went and sell. This is not counting cards I went and sought out on their own, which I probably spent another $500 on. And that was the low end out of our friends.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm really fortunate because when I wanted to get into Commander, all of my friends got really excited about it because it was all the people that I hung out with at my LGS and we were all playing Magic together. They were all super excited because I wanted to build a Commander. And I love Liliana. Like, you can't see it because it's on the wall that I'm facing, but I have a Liliana tapestry. I have like a Liliana Walker model.
Did you read the books?
Love her. And so
Oh my gosh, what's he getting now?
Stoked, and I got into Magic. And they all bought me her cards for my birthday because it was like 2 weeks later. So I got a Liliana tribal deck for Commander. Didn't pay for most of it.
Was he in the deck right now? Hold on. I gotta find
My
him.
friends are so good to me.
The card that I probably won. This is my favorite deck that I got.
Oh,
So,
it's in the other room.
Steven's played against this and he knows how good it is. Is my Assemble
the red
Legion.
light?
Yeah,
Yep.
Assemble Legion. I had 4 Assemble Legions in this deck. At the beginning of your upkeep, must put a muster counter on the Assemble Legion, then put a 1/1 red-white soldier token creature with haste onto the battlefield for each muster counter token on Assemble Legion.
Ew.
I had four.
So,
I have
yeah,
4 of these
four.
on here. I had Legion's Initiative, which gives white creatures +0/+1, and then red creatures +1/+0. So that boosts. I have 2 of those in there. I also have a Johnny Vengeant in here, and is -7. Destroy all target players' lands.
My favorite is my
I've heard of
Liliana. I forget which one, but her -7 is I take all creatures from all graveyards and I put them onto my battlefield under my control.
Ooh, that'd be. I would die.
My favorite build that I've ever done, and it to the date, it was one of the 2 decks that was stolen. But it was a snake build, solid green. Majority of it were snakes. There were a couple other things in there, but the trick behind it was almost all of them had either death touch.
Oh, you're
or
that
if
asshole.
if you deal damage, then destroy whatever you dealt damage to.
Yeah.
Oh, we had a friend who had that deck.
And
I
so,
think.
not mine, because mine was speed and replication. Because there was a card in it. I don't remember a lot of the other cards, but there was a card in it called Sasuke Summons. Drop it, bring 2. I think it was 2 1/2s or 2 2/2s. Snake tokens out onto the field. I had a card, an artifact card that would give all of my attacking things death touch, or tap to deal damage to flying or whatever. And then the Sasuke Summons effect, it was a sorcery card, so the Sasuke Summons effect is if you play a snake creature, return Sasuke Summons to your hand. And once again, it was a snake deck. I had 3 of these cards.
See, you want to know what the worst
I'm
part
really
about this
into
deck?
ninja decks and ninjutsuing and like your commander or another ninja from your hands. Oh, stupid.
Oh, let me,
Sorry, I was
let
a
me-
dumb
Cracking
dumb.
off of them to draw cards and then just like having instant speed everything.
let
I
me
just
pull-
played Unga Bunga decks. I played mono red. That's it. I just rushed down. So I just Unga
I
Bunga.
Ooh.
like practice a lot.
All right, let me pull out these the legendary creatures in here real quick. Like,
So my friends, they can't play in person anymore. So what they've been doing is playing on Tabletop Simulator.
Yep.
And it's been working out for them. It's pretty interesting from what they've been. Yeah, and you can build whatever you want as long as you're able to get the deck list out and just put it into the game.
so on
So they've been doing it.
on top of Legion's Initiative, I had these in here. Seraph the Masses, Convoke. Seraph the Masses' power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures you control. So every turn it got stronger. I had Aurelia, the War Leader, who whenever she attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. Tajik, who is indestructible, and when he attacks with 2 or more creatures, he gets +5/+5. And then Iros, the God of Victory, who when you hit a red-white devotion of 7, creatures you control cannot be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Prevent all damage dealt to attacking creatures you control. With
So
my
basically,
army.
they just get menaced and indestructible.
Yeah.
I had one time where I had like 30 soldiers and 30 angels, because I also have a devout incantation, plus all these on the field, and I'm like, and it was a 3-person game, and I attacked one, I attacked the other, all in the same turn, and destroyed them both. And my friend raged so hard he flipped he kicked the table over.
Oh jeez.
I was really happy
There's
with that.
So I was gonna, for mine, I kind of had
So my sleeves.
I could bring yeah, it's cool. I could bring out a bunch of these snakes all at once. There was a card I was gonna get, which is also an artifact. It was called Doors of Destiny.
Oh, I have
That
them
is-
for my dragon deck.
Yeah.
They're so
So-
good.
Oh my god! So
I have
you play
3, I think.
you play, yeah, because 3 was the number I
Yes.
was gonna go for. You play them,
I think it's 3.
and it's you declare a type, and every time you play a creature of that type, all creatures of that type get +1/+1, and it's permanent.
Oh snaps.
And
Yeah,
that's
no,
like, and it's not even
it's-
play. It's I think it's it's either you play it or a creature of that type enters the battlefield.
Every
under
time
your
a
control.
creature enters that the battlefield of that type, it adds another +1 to all creatures of that type.
Okay.
Here, let me pull it out.
So
I can find it real quick.
with my stakes, so that plus the Sosuke summon cycle I could do. So which means that's 2. So that's +2/+2. And then I play a snake, +1/+1. Sosuke summons comes back, +2/+2. I play another snake, Sosuke summons comes back.
It's put a charge counter on the door destinies
Pretty
whenever
stupid, essentially.
you cast a spell of the chosen type. And then creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1. So I had that in my dragon deck. That had like 2-headed dragon. Which I love the sleeves that I got for it. But 2-headed dragon can't be blocked by a less than 2 creatures. But it's also got flying, and I would add double strike to it. And it can block 2 creatures at once. I'd add first strike to it because I had lightning talents in here. And then I also had rings of fire, which is for dragon or crucibles of fire, which dragon creatures you control get +3/+3, and I had 3 of those in here. Plus the Doors of Destinies, plus Obelisk of Erd, which would go good with your snake one, which as Obelisk of Erd enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures you control get +2/+2 as well. I had 2 of those. So it was just like overpowered dragons. Even Dragon Egg would be like at one point like a freaking like 7/9.
That's I feel dragons are one of these decks in Magic that Doors of Destiny is just overkill on. Like
it is, but I love it.
You don't need that.
It's way more.
I'm sure it's fun, but
well, it's to guarantee. Like how I look at it is with at least with 2-headed dragon, it guarantees me that double block. Like the more defense it has, the more I can double block them. So like I would. The thing is too, I would be playing against my friend's Hydra deck. Which you need big creatures to beat. Big flying creatures to beat.
Hydras in which the primordial or
he had all Hydras in that deck. Primordial was one of them. It was a mean deck. So like that's why I try to get these things overpowered, because I may not be able to block all of them, but if I can hit him directly for all of his life, then I have a chance.
Yeah.
That
was also kind of my trick behind why I went the all death touch route. 'Cause it's like,
oh yeah,
it's so much like you can deal, and of course if you either kill them with bug bites or they have to take the hit and sacrifice whatever they block you with.
I love Death Touch. It's so fun because you could have like a little 1/1, and there's this like.
And it kills
God, I hate the
20/20.
1/1 death touch are the most insulting. Like,
oh, and I had plenty of them. I
play a zombie deck, so like all of my stuff has Death Touch, Menace, and I
Who's
can
that
regenerate my
creature?
graveyard.
Who was that card? It was like Phage the Untouchable or something like that. Where it was Death Touch to the point where if it touches a player, it kills them.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, it was mean,
I'm
dude.
sorry?
Yeah.
That was a thing?
Yes.
It was like a 4 to 6 mana, all black, like 4 and 2 blacks. And if it dealt any damage to a player, that player was dead. Phage the Untouchable.
Sorry, I'm Googling this right now. I just want to see this.
Yeah, I am too.
And then also, me and Steven played a lot of like group games. Steven knows my Obelisk deck, which had Extort.
You know my blood deck too.
Yeah. Well, it was funny.
Oh,
me and
it's
you
real.
got targeted so much
Holy
because
What's it called?
Phage the
Phage
Untouchable.
The Untouchable. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
was right at it.
Sweet.
Like, holy crap.
That's me.
Okay, if you didn't cast it, oh wow, this has a double-edged sword though on really particular circumstances. If you didn't cast it from your hand, you lose the game.
Hmm.
And then whenever Phage deals combat damage to a player, that player loses the game.
Yeah.
I always enjoy decks that have really dumb mechanics. Like Phage the Untouchable, she could win a game, but she could also lose the game. My
Mhm.
favorite
my
standard
God,
deck
though.
that I played was Chromantiflayer, where it was 5 colors. You discard a bunch of stuff into your deck, and then you use the Delve mechanic, which uses those cards. You
Yeah.
exile them, and then you get those
Delve
mechanics in a
is-
card.
Oh, I hate Delve. I hate it.
Well,
Well, they
Delve.
just brought back cycling too in the new set, so
Mhm.
it's gonna
They
get really
I don't remember
Oh
playing
my
against
God.
cycling. I think I missed cycling.
Oh, it's so annoying.
It's
I
like
got
you
started
pay
when
1
Slivers
mana and
came
you can
back.
discard the card and draw a card.
We had a friend
Mhm.
who had a sliver deck,
Yeah.
which was main.
Slivers. Oh my God.
I hate
was just
slivers.
I
looking
thought
at my
I was-
cards.
I thought I was decent at the game one day in high school, and then I met this guy who's a really good friend of
I
mine. But
have
he
one
showed me
sliver.
my first sliver deck. And
Slivers
again, I
will
thought I
put
was
you in your
pretty
place.
good at the game, and then I played him, and I'm like, huh.
I'm thinking
Fuck.
All right,
it's
then.
5-color sliver deck. Just
As long as it's
just to be
commander,
that
you'll be
person.
fine.
Well, even then, if
it
you're
was
not, like,
bad.
our friend had a 5-color sliver deck, and it just played off itself too well, and I hate it. I hated it. But no, I played with an
Slivers in
Obelisk,
general.
or, yeah, Obelisk deck. Or
Obelisk
something.
bird.
No, not Obelisk Bird.
Currently-
It was a, what's the white-black?
Orzhov?
Orzhov, thank you. I had an Orzhov
Obelisk
deck.
the Tormentor.
Shut up.
I was
I had-
biding my time.
But my deck had Extort. So when we played multiplayer games, that's the deck I go to. Because I could just sit there, play a couple creatures, Extort, and get like 6 life, but 1 from each of you. I'm like, I'm not picking favorites. I'm attacking everyone equally.
I'm taxing everybody equally. It's fine.
You
That's
know,
what
every
Orzhov
time
But
that
people
me
hate
and my friends, see, every time me and my friends would ever play, that's the person that dies first.
Yeah.
Sup?
Is
You
like-
I'm just there to
hated
leech.
it- It's such a
But like,
like.
when am I ever
we,
actually gonna use that deck in like an actual other scenario? Like
We
that
had
deck
a
is not
friend-
made for like 1v1s.
We have a friend who I think still has it, but it's a life gain deck.
Mm-hmm.
Life
And I
game's
mean,
great.
there was one time we were playing free for all. There was like 4 or 5 of us, and we didn't understand. Either we didn't understand or didn't care about the full capabilities of this deck. Probably
That's
mostly
happened
because of who
multiple
he
times.
is.
That happened with
Like,
my deck
we
once.
we underestimated him. Is what it ultimately boils down to. We never made the mistake again.
Oh, see, that's what I come in. I
but
know life gain too well.
He,
I would have been like, you kill him
oh my god, he just
now.
like it, honestly, I don't remember who were the final 2 were, but it was just to the point where he just had so much life that was like, whatever, dude, I'm done.
It's just a mosquito bite.
that's how- that's how-
We're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Steven and I were part of a like 8 or 9-person game at my house, and that's
too much.
exactly what it came down to. My brother
That's
got
too
his
much.
life gain deck and gained up to like 500 plus life, and then had like 500 tigers because he had an Ajani that created the equal amount of like cat creatures to your health, and the
Yeah,
other
I
person
think
had
it's the
something
Johnny that
similar.
He eventually got.
Yes. And had a similar deck, but it was just like they had almost equal mass armies, but my brother just had way more health. And I'm sitting here like, you should have listened to me. I may have taxed you, but you all would have lived.
So
You attacked the life gains. I am not a
See,
life
here's-
gain. I'm a taxer.
wow, these sound exactly like the conversations we used to have.
My
I'm an
multiplayer.
incredibly defensive player, so like I'll just be sitting there. If I'm playing like a 4-pot, I'll be like sitting there very quietly, just like, oh, my Liliana Heretical Healer has flipped now because she's my commander. So
I love
she'll
her.
flip, and all of a sudden I have my first Lily Planeswalker, and then I have a bunch of zombies. It's like, oh, nothing to worry about. And
Nothing
then
to
I
worry
have
about.
My other Lily is out, and it's like, oh, by the way, all your graveyards.
They're mine.
Yeah, see,
And that's what I-
you are the one I watch out for now. Like,
Oh yeah, anyone
No.
that's playing a
There-
mono black deck is like
there
the
are-
first person
Oh,
to
no,
know
not
it's
even
like,
that.
like,
Not even that.
gonna
The
play.
the innocent one.
The
No,
silent
no, no, no.
one.
I don't
Oh,
care what
see,
the
I
co-
always call out the innocent one because I know they're
I
calling
just pass,
bullshit.
I'm not swinging. I pass.
don't care
My
what-
favorite, though, is when I pull a Bola Citadel because I'm playing a zombie deck, but I'm also still getting life gain from killing things. So I'll get like a Bola Citadel, and I'm sitting at 60 life, and I'm just like, oh, you know what? I can pass these
Disgusting.
8 creatures that have flying and vigilance, and oh, I have this enchantment that gives them all haste.
My God. Oh my God!
Steven, you remember our friend's Demir deck?
The mill deck?
Yes. That thing was ruthless.
I just remember beating his mill deck with my mill deck. And he got really
did you
upset.
build it just to counter it? I never. Yes. Okay. Cool. I thought that was the story. Well,
Honestly,
see, the problem was
real talk with mills. That's sometimes the only way you can.
No,
do
it
it
is.
You just have to explicitly
that, or
counter
you
it.
get like a creature that can hurt him. Like you get lucky, get something out that can hurt him. Because like his mill deck, there was a game my first multiplayer win was my favorite multiplayer win. So I'm playing with him, his brother, and me. And we're all playing. I have my first Izzet deck. And he mills my deck, and I don't get any lands for the rest of the game, pretty much. I get like 2 more lands. So I have like 3 lands for the next 15 to 20 turns. Guaranteed. That's it. Not that I was too hurt by it, but I wasn't going to do much with it. Because it's an Izzet deck, I need to cast spells. I'm not casting spells. So it's his Demir deck versus his brother's White Soldier deck. And they're just at each other. And he shreds it down to the last card. The Soldier deck goes, kills him, comes to me. I can't do anything. He can't draw, so I win by default. Literally, the game is known as the pretzel game because I sat there with a bag of pretzels and almost ate the entire thing, not doing anything because I couldn't. And that's how I won.
That's my issue with any red deck, though, is like once you run out of gas, like you're
you're done.
Yeah.
you're
Dunzo.
That's the problem with my
quick or
Boros
you
and my
lose,
Red Dragon.
just
Like
down the
that's
As
just
much as I
Like you
love
win
playing
quick or you
Rakdos,
lose
and
quicker.
it's
Yeah.
That's how that goes.
fun is like you just cast a bunch of small creatures, and then all of a sudden, like a black creature or a black enchantment comes out, and you give them death touch or something stupid. It's like a mono gabo deck or something,
I had a.
and you just crush everyone else. But if you don't get that land draw every turn, like you're kind of.
oh yeah, that's my
The
dragon
first-
deck. If I don't get my land draw, I'm
the-
fucked.
The first deck that I ever built that I actually really ever cared about was a blue-white soldier deck, and the blues were in there mainly because it was predominantly counters.
I
Mhm.
hate you.
Ew.
You are
So-
you disgusting. I hate.
I'm
I have a
gonna play
bane.
one 3-drop creature and counter
Nope.
everything you do.
No, Steven knew my brother. My brother had
So-
like this disgusting white blue counter deck. That's all it did. You played
love
something.
control
complex.
decks.
See, that's the thing.
Combo or
Mine
control,
wasn't.
those are me.
So it was combo. The soldier aspect of it was actually really cool because I had a soldier that would buff my other soldiers, and or I had one that for every point of damage I took, I got to play a soldier token, which is really great when you're playing someone who's not paying attention. And because I did this one time to this kid, and he's
Steven
like,
saw my
"I'm gonna
live deck.
attack you. I'm gonna attack you for." Like, I'm going to attack. And this is one of the people that experienced this firsthand.
Or Torn.
Not so much him not paying attention, but because it's just like I said, it countered the burns. But no, it was Nathan Torn, and he knows who I'm talking about. But this guy thought he was so freaking slick. He's like, I'm gonna attack you for all this. It was like 20 some points of damage. So I blocked enough to where I had like just enough points. I was still alive, but this soldier was out. And so then it was like, okay, I now have 17 tokens out, all 2/2s. And he's like, what? And then I flipped the card around and I let him read it. I told him what it was. Like I did
Oh,
not.
see,
hide
that's
it.
the
I was
thing.
like-
If you don't read,
I was like,
that's on you.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
here you go. And he's like, the fuck. And yeah, and then of course I had all the counters, so it's like I didn't have to take all of Torn's burn spells. I could just be like counter. Fuck. All right, this counter. This. No, I can't counter that. You're
Oh.
I counter this
I
one though.
choose not to counter this one.
that's the one I hate.
just like,
when I'm like, I don't need to counter that
hello.
one. I'm like, oh, fuck you.
Every time me and him would ever play it, and it was that deck.
Steven
he
did
would,
that
he
to
would
me
be
so
like,
many times.
he would be
I
like,
burned it.
Counters, controls.
he would like say it. He would like say it with a question mark. It's like, I'm going to play this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I was.
No, that's
Everyone
like the best
around me.
feeling to have to do that.
Everyone around me has
man.
counter and mill, and I'm just over here. I think I can play.
Our friend Trav is the one that had the mill.
Oh fuck. Oh, I hate Mill.
I hate him. I hate him so much.
I remember a time when I was playing competitively in Flagstaff. Like, this was one of my favorite memories, and this is why I haven't forgotten it. But I was playing a deck where my opponent was just kicking my ass. Just repeatedly. It was best of 3. He won the first game. He won the second game. And finally, I figured out what he was doing, and I sideboarded, and I did all the fun stuff. And I finally figured out how to beat him. Game 3, just won straight out. Game 2, won straight out. Game 3, technically Game 3 and Game 4. I won straight out. Game 5 was a really close match, and I remember this specifically because he was winning. He was very decidedly winning, and I just had luck of 3 draws in a row. Like the heart of the cards, guys.
Top deck, top deck, top deck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like, I draw this card. All right, well, because I drew this card, I can now counter this effect that you're doing. Oh, I'm going to kill this person. Well, in response, I'm going to kill your planeswalker because I drew this card off the top of my deck. And he's like, but you didn't have that a second ago. I was like, yep, because I drew it. And I got him because these random, super lucky top 3 top decks, I beat him. And he had such an anger issue where he grabbed his deck, flipped the table, and walked away.
Wow.
Kidding.
At least he was
What
smart
an
enough to grab his
asshole.
deck.
Yeah, he grabbed
What an
the table
asshole.
and left.
But what? Yeah.
And you could like that's such a deliberate action. Like if
Yeah.
you flip the table, that's like but he's like, no, I'm choosing to be a dick right now.
He
I
had
have
the
enough
brain-
control
yeah.
to grab my stuff. Now I'm gonna flip the table.
And now I'll flip your shit.
Yeah,
I'd
I
like
was
to imagine
so
he would like
upset.
calmly roll up his mat and like put it in its
Yeah.
holder and like, deck back in the box and then
Yeah. And then just a Hulk
It
smash.
wasn't that extreme. It was he picked up his deck, he picked up his mat, he flipped the table, and then as he was walking out, he put everything away.
Wow.
What a dick!
I wasn't upset. I was a little upset because I had to take up my cards, but
yeah.
but
See,
I
at
still
my,
won.
at my local game store, if something like that were to happen, the owner would be like, "Hey Liz, do your thing," and I would have to be the one to like politely yet sternly ask them to leave.
Hey, could you fucking leave?
It would basically be like, "Hey buddy, just go. It's time."
Kick rocks.
Oh, dude, I miss Magic so much.
I wasn't
I know.
missing it as much until this conversation.
You're
so thanks,
welcome.
guys.
Okay, so the one thing I miss more than Magic right now is Warhammer.
Never played it.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
neither have I.
never played it.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Too many miniatures to paint. Sorry.
Every time that's the thing. Every time I see it, it's like I am.
You're
very
talking to
intrigued.
Liz, all right? She
Yeah,
is the.
exactly.
I
but,
have
like,
my miniatures.
Wow.
There is
See,
painting and
I-
miniatures. Liz
I
is
have
a miniature
always-
painter.
I love in this world.
I've always been intrigued by Warhammer.
It's not
Mhm.
actually
Man,
miniature.
this would be
You
really
ever-
cool. But it's
Ever
like,
want me
oh,
to
man.
go off on a tangent for hours where you cannot get me to shut up asking for Warhammer. Dude, I love
How-
it so much. It's so
How
fun.
would you compare Warhammer to D&D?
Not at all similar.
Mm.
Fair enough.
Henry Cavill plays Warhammer.
Really?
Yeah, he does. He also plays
Oh,
PC
Really?
Mustache
Oh.
Man
He
plays Warhammer?
and PC.
Oh
PC
my gosh!
games.
I keep finding reasons to just love this man.
Oh, dude, did you hear? Did you hear that interview where he got asked what console and stuff like that? What does he play Witcher on? He's like, oh, PC.
Just casually. No.
Be still.
I
my
loved it. My
children.
favorite interview that he's ever done was he's explaining how he got the call for Superman, and he missed the first call because he was playing World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like he flat out admits it. It's like I kind of was playing World of Warcraft at the time.
That's
Dude, you're an amazing human being.
Is Symmetra even good anymore, Touring? I haven't paid attention.
Reason to hate him? He's a Symmetra main, like current Symmetra, or just ever Symmetra? Like,
Wow.
So yeah,
Wait a
I
minute,
know,
Symmetra
like
back when I still had my PC, I could hate him for.
Symmetra hook him and
But
cook
now,
him
I don't
Symmetra,
know.
or
I don't
like
know
if he
what's
was a
going on with
Symmetra main back when
Warhammer.
Symmetra had aim lock, then yeah, kind
Oh
of.
God.
But
Ugh.
Symmetra main now, I don't know if I'd much hate or feel sorry for, really.
You know what
Probably
game I
sorry.
miss?
Of course, you could turret bomb now with Symmetra, so I don't know. Maybe it is hate.
Steven,
What's the problem? Who had a problem?
no, I was,
That
you know,
misses a
I
game.
was missing a game, and then Steven brought something up, and I was like, oh my God, we need to do it. Settlers of Catan.
Nope, bye.
That game
What?
ruined friendship, though.
Wait, what? Hang on a minute.
No, you got.
I know. I'm for it.
I'm bored, but I
wanna-
understand.
I want to talk about the. I want to talk to the one that's not for it right now. Like, wait.
I don't
What's
like Settlers. Like
I spent like 30 minutes today searching through Tabletop Simulator Workshop trying to find a good version of Settlers of Catan. And you don't like that game?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
I'd
I
rather
mean,
play
look.
that over Monopoly, but that's about.
Hey, Monopoly is great.
I'll give you that one, actually. I
Okay.
don't mind.
Here's the thing. Monopoly is situationally good,
Mhm.
but I find it almost impossible to hate Catan. Like, real talk.
It might have been who
I
you
don't
played
hate
with.
it.
You
I
don't
just
hate it?
Don't enjoy it. So okay, to be fair, it was always my brother that I had to play
Okay,
with.
see,
and
that's your problem.
It was a miserable
Ah.
experience.
See,
That's different.
That is so different though, and that's kind of Soy's thing because we had a guy we went to high school with, and this guy would talk about Mass Effect all the time, and Soy to this day has never played Mass Effect
Mass Effect
properly.
because
And I'm like, dude, listen,
Just play
we
it.
all know about ABC at the end, but I promise you, apart from the last 15 minutes, it's a phenomenal series.
Oh, it absolutely
So,
is.
That's honestly my #1 game series for me.
mine too, 100%.
So this is definitely like a throwback topic, but have you guys played Anthem?
No.
no.
You're gonna get Jay into a long way.
You fucking schmuck! I remember all of this.
See, yeah.
I loved that game. I loved it, and I would have defended it with my dying breath until literally the last 2 minutes, and I hate it. I hate it.
Jay's in the same boat, I think.
No, I think he hated it from the start.
No,
He-
but I
he
will
defended
say
it
he
until
tried. No,
launch.
no, no. He tried to give it a fair chance. I remember
I
this
did.
because he
I
like
genuinely- I
into
genuinely
playing
tried.
it.
I'm not
In-
gonna lie.
I genuinely
The
tried.
idea of
Go,
the
Jay, go,
game- So like I played the. I
This
forget what
isn't
it's called, the
T-pop.
javelin suit that's like super, like agile and like acrobatic, and I had a lot of fun with the mechanics of playing it.
Yeah,
But like the last 2 minutes, that final
Here's the-
cutscene just
okay, so here's
destroyed
the
game
thing.
for me.
like, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. Like,
20 minutes.
way more. No, it's not because I really have to consciously
Choose your
monitor
words.
myself here. Yes, you know, because I don't want to. Because this isn't my podcast, and I don't want to. But too many bugs to count. Disappointing story. Just it kind of just threw you in, and it's like, what the fuck? And nothing, and I do mean nothing, worked as intended.
Fair enough.
Like
I played it on PlayStation,
when
though,
when
so
the
it worked a lot
developer.
better than handheld.
You played on the console that the game threatened to brick.
I played
like-
on the one that it destroyed too, like the OG.
Yeah.
PS4. No
Like-
issues.
Jesus
I
Christ.
too like to live dangerously.
Yeah,
Like,
I love to live on the edge.
That just reminds me.
Come on! I saw that and I'm just like, huh?
No,
Your game
that
could
is-
break a console.
That is the exact moment I broke Jay, because I remember talking to Jay the day before that news broke, and Jay being like, "You know what? I'm hopeful that this game can go somewhere." And then I sent him that article,
He sent it to me the same day. The same day.
and it was a
within the
day
same
of
hour,
T-pop
maybe.
too. And I
Oh
remember
my
him being
God.
like, I remember talking to him the day before, and he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna give Anthem a fair chance on the podcast." I sent him the article, and I went and watched that
Okay.
episode, and he just rails into it, and I was like, "Yes, yes."
Entertainment value, probably the best show I ever did. But I mean, it was
It was.
horrible.
Anthem is to Jay as Death Note is to me.
Oh my god.
The movie. The movie.
Okay.
I figured,
Oh.
yeah. I just, oh my
Oh
god.
man, it was.
So on the Death Note thing, I just remember Dev.
You were there for that.
Ah.
I I innocently was like, "Oh, so this is a thing that's relevant," and you were like, "Let me tell you about this." Please don't. Oh God.
It's just like it's like figuratively, you're just cowering in a corner, like, make it stop, please.
I get irrationally angry at that movie. I will admit it.
Oh my God.
30 minutes angrily ranting about every single possible detail of that movie, and it was hilarious. Because at the very end, it was dead silence, and I was just like, "Got it." And then you did it.
And they're making a sequel.
Oh, see,
Now he's upset.
Oh, jeez. But man,
It's me, your local rage queen.
2019 going into 2020, man, has been the year that
This is
I
the
have
laser
went-
scooter to the ankle.
I have went to bat for games. I have been utterly disappointed, and I got to make content from it because there was Anthem, there was the Warcraft 3 Reforged. Like, there was Warcraft 3 Reforged rant is not as good or as lengthy as the Anthem rant, but
I remember
It
going
was
to be able to do the rant for Fallout 76 for you. That was fun for me.
the Fallout 76 wasn't so much as a rant. I got
I
all
got
my
a rant.
ranting.
I don't
You
wanna
did
talk
the
about
rant.
Fallout
You got the rant.
76.
Me and, or at least I did. Torn kinda did. Got all our ranting out prior to launch, even for Fallout 76.
I just want to say,
And then-
the reason I refuse to talk about 76 is I have a Deathclaw tattoo on my leg, Fallout 4.
No,
I
and
was
again,
so
like,
committed to
That's
the
understandable though.
and my love
Yeah.
of this series that I got a tattoo of this game series, and then 76 came out. And
See, and
crushed
again,
my heart.
well, here's the thing.
Same.
I think honestly, true Fallout, not 76 fans, just kind of just look at 76 and like, that's not a
It doesn't
Fallout game.
exist. It's
Not,
there.
yeah, it don't exist. It's not Fallout.
It
So you can
happened,
kind of
it's the
take,
same name.
you can kind of. We're trying to help you out here. We're trying to give you a new perspective, a new healthy mental attitude of
Yeah, it's not
completely
the same
denying
game.
something.
It's not the
like-
same game. It's only got Pip
To
Boys,
be
Vault
fair-
Boy, Vaults, blue and yellow
Nothing will ever
jumpsuits.
top New Vegas.
Death claws.
What is it?
Nothing's ever gonna top New Vegas. Like that is my standard for Fallout.
Well,
games
see,
from
I will
now
say
on,
this.
so-
Something
How
about
do
the
you feel
Fallout
about Outer
series.
Worlds?
Hmm?
Let Dev go first. Then I'll change this up.
About the Fallout series is that true Fallout fans will say that the 3 and 4 aren't even good Fallout games because they're not like the first two in story and lore. But you know, that's just the
If String can't
savant's
see it, this is
opinion.
my pop figure
Um,
collection of Fallout.
But
The whole
I'm just
set.
I'm just being that savant asshole for a second. Because
No,
they are
no,
noticeably
that's a
different.
that's a purist asshole.
Well, the
Like,
thing is, like, there is noticeable differences in story. But like,
Don't get me started on this rant because I can talk about Fallout.
Okay, I think on that note, we need to let Steven change the subject. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I'm here.
absolutely. Because I will go on for hours.
No, I mean, like, quickly, what I wanted to say was that how do you compare Fallout 76 to Outer Worlds? Or not 76, sorry. New Vegas to Outer Worlds.
So
Okay, I was about to
admittedly,
say,
I
like,
only played
what?
About 20 minutes of Outer Worlds, but I could see that it was definitely made both by Obsidian. It's a very similar feel to both games. Granted, Outer Worlds is a very different story to me so far, but again, I'm not far enough into it to like really truly make an opinion
I've
on
yet
it.
to I've yet to play Outer Worlds, and I'm very sad about it.
Admittedly, I think Obsidian made a near perfect Fallout game with New Vegas. Just in terms of like not only the storyline to it, but also like how many options you had at the end of the story, where like you could be a good guy, you could be a like true good, true bad, or like true neutral, or anything in between in that alignment chart, like chaotic good, chaotic neutral, chaotic evil. Like it didn't matter. There was not, and it was so fun.
can I admit something?
Mhm.
This happened on stream. I'll admit this. I played New Vegas for a while. Tried to. And just quit because I couldn't because I kept ending up in situations. Listen, hear me out, okay?
I saw Liz. Your head just like, what?
Yeah,
What'd
that's
you
not
say?
what
Hear
we're-
me out for a
you're
second.
not what we're laughing at right now.
The snap was so quick.
The reason being is there was a lot of walking, and it's like I can make content out of walking, but when I continually walk into enemies that beat my ass and continually have to find a new route, and I go down another route and they beat my ass again, and I can't do anything, and I'm just getting angry at the game. From a content person,
I can feel it.
I wasn't able to enjoy the game. I bet you 100% if I played it off stream, I probably would have enjoyed it 10 times more.
She's trying to reach through the screen and strangle you.
No, see,
it's about as best of a reaction as we could ever hope for.
I'm admitting, no, I will fully admit that that I think it's a fantastic game. It's just for me, stream-wise, I wasn't able to do what I was able to do with like Skyrim before it, from a entertainment point, I guess.
Okay, so the reason I love Fallout New Vegas is literally for the reason you.
Okay, I don't get a kick out of continually walking the same route and just getting my ass handed me, no matter how many times I change up how I assault it.
That's why if you follow the main quest line, it brings you to all the towns that chronologically follow your level.
Yes, but I didn't know where I was going, because I got lost at one point and distracted by side quests, because I get distracted. I get distracted by side quests! You can't give me an open world and not explore it!
So when you're selected and you have a different map marker.
But so what? I would go to the different map markers, and then I ended up in a place where I couldn't get to the place I needed to go, because there's a whole bunch of fucking bombs landing on my head!
So, like, I think in this...
Then that's a personal problem.
See, I think in comparison here, Liz is like the doctor subscribing medication, and then Dev is the patient who doesn't take it.
I know how to... No, don't you dare, Jay! Don't you dare! No, listen. I go back to that, and I just ended up in situations where I couldn't get to from points A to B without dying over and over and over. And that, for me, starts to take the fun out of doing things, because I'm also trying, like, with that kind of game, I'm trying to do RP related stuff with it, and I couldn't exactly do RP with me always dying.
Hey, Dev, I just have a quick question for you, though. Did you ever consider you just suck at the game?
Fuck.
I didn't suck at the game. Also, I made sure I turned my luck down for my character, which maybe was a mistake. But you know what? I made that choice for an RP! For the RP!
Jesus Christ.
This is the double-edged sword of RP. On the one hand,
but I'm better at it.
See, that's the thing. I respect people who even make the attempt. I don't even care that they're good at it. Who make the attempt at RP for crap like that, because I can't do that. And then on the other hand of that, I'm sitting there thinking, you brought this on yourself.
Okay, how I look at it is like, if I'm not playing with a group, for me, if I'm not playing a game or series I'm highly attached to, I try to do that route because it makes it more entertaining for me. That's why I do the voices. That's why I do the lines. That's why I read it. If the game doesn't have, like, people talking, I do the talking and my voices and stuff like that because I find it fun. But, like, when I continuously die over and over and over, I can't build a lore behind the character because he's dead half the time, and I can't do anything because I'm constently loading over and over and over and over.
He's never dead.
I'll say instead of building a lore, he's writing an obituary. He's just dead.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that was my problem. Like, I think if I went back to it, I probably could approach it better. But, like, I think I just continually got more frustrated with it and went down different routes and kept, like, I think the problem was I went down one route, couldn't get through it, and went a different way to get to the next thing, but instead of backtracking to where I should go. And, like, I don't know. I always ended up, like, in places with enemies that could kill me in, like, 3 hits. Or dynamite or explosions. And I never lived.
To be fair, you could be level 20 and a death claw is just gonna rip your skull off. So.
It wasn't death claws. It wasn't even. It was like giant rad scorps that were hitting like way harder than I thought. It was that stupid airfield where you try to you get told the route, and I got told the route, but I would go through the route and still get blown up. And I'm like, he says, go here, go there, and I'm doing it, and I'm still dying.
Because you're not running against the fence. You have to be touching the fence and running along it.
No, he told me the route like through, like from house to house.
Oh yeah, that never works.
Then why have it in the game? How am I supposed to know?
Well,
You
do it
experiment.
a bunch of time. You know, the
I thought that was just bad
time.
timing. I seriously thought I just had that bad of timing for some reason. And I'm like,
So, can you put a number to how many times you died to this specific thing, and then we'll
No.
determine. You can't or won't.
both. Because I at least
So I think
attempted it
after
like
a
10 to
certain
20
point-
times.
I think after a certain point, it's not your luck just sucks. I think it's you're doing something wrong.
But I was told by chat that, hey, use the
Okay, so
guy's
my
map
question
to
is,
make it through. And that's
Are
the
you
map
going
he would.
into the houses, or are you just stopping next to them?
I couldn't even make it to the house. I was dying
Yeah,
before.
you're just bad.
my
Are you
my
sprinting or
question
just, like,
Yes!
typical running. Oh.
my
I don't know.
question my question is actually towards the other end of things of who was in chat.
People who are no longer in my chat.
You
Hey.
don't think maybe
No, they were long time. Like, the person who was telling me the route also bought me the game at the time.
So they were genuinely trying to be helpful.
Yes.
Okay, well,
I'm shocked that you weren't like, who's the one person that knows Fallout off the top of their head that you could have messaged and asked them why you can't get
You didn't exist on our internet.
No,
social
she
feed
existed
for,
on
like,
my circle at that time. Don't worry. But it was more that,
When
like,
was this dev? How long ago was it?
after probably Fallout 76 would have been after probably after PAX South that I went to PAX South 2018, which is well into our friendship. I get it. Don't criticize me for this. I'm
too
just
late.
No, you done
But, okay,
goofed.
but I
And
You
just
done goofed.
Just disappointed.
First one.
hey, listen. You could have also came to one of those streams to see me play
I don't
Fallout.
want anyone. Okay,
Eh.
let's like back it up.
It was
I just
referencing
thought
another
of
story,
Peter
Torn.
again.
Well,
no, but yeah, that's
It's
why I
alright.
just didn't.
Drop your little laptop.
I'm sorry. It's just it's why I haven't gone back to it.
You're missing out on a great game.
I
I'm
know.
Not even gonna like.
I know.
No cap.
There's no sugarcoating that.
I get it. I
It's a good
just
game. I highly recommend just playing it on the easiest difficulty because I think you will enjoy the
I
story
didn't
versus the
because I was an
gameplay.
idiot too. I'm like, oh, I've got to play on like normal for this too.
Oh, that game's hard. Like I'm not even gonna.
No,
lie. Some
yeah,
people
I found that
really
out the hard
Fallout
way.
games. I have played every single Fallout game, like including the top-down ones, like that nobody wants to acknowledge. Like I've played all of them, and New Vegas was genuinely one of the more difficult. But I thoroughly enjoyed it for that reason.
No, I had fun with it though. Like for what I got to do, I enjoyed it a lot. But like, it's just I think I hit a brick wall with that. So
Fair.
Yeah.
I feel like when you put this up on YouTube, you can just title "Liz gets heated over Fallout."
We think we will.
Magic, Fallout, and more.
Say Magic, Fallout, job gripes.
It's just going to be called The Nerd's Return.
There's the turn.
There's never been a podcast that I have been on to date that everyone truly understands how heated I get about topics. Nerdy topics that I love. Magic, Warhammer, Fallout.
Do you have a
And
fourth
now
thing?
Animal Crossing.
No, I'm not that crazy. Like I enjoy Animal Crossing, but I'm not like.
I'll say
addicted
also, like,
to
how
it.
can you get like
Um,
the Bunny Day thing is about the only thing that's I think possible
Dude,
to get.
have
heated
you
about.
seen the AC community?
I hear a lot of people are really upset with the fact that
Oh my god, you're time traveling?
not.
Oh, there's
well,
that
Oh,
contention.
yeah.
There's a lot of others
That's
too.
not topping.
I was about to say the fact that people who share the console can't have their own independent island. I hear
Mhm.
that biggest problem.
That I don't like that either. Like
That I understand now.
I wish
That's a
that
big
was an
problem.
option because I mean, come on, technology today. Like Hello.
Yeah,
You
me and
should
my
be,
girlfriend,
yeah.
like the fact that we have to share an island is pretty rough and everything.
Totally. You definitely have a girlfriend.
You just drink that beer.
She's from
though.
Canada. You wouldn't know her.
She goes to a different.
See, here's the thing. I had maybe the alcohol's finally getting to me, but I had a moment where I'm like, wait, what? And I wasn't gonna say anything.
I saw
And
that.
then Steven, who has
The light
muted
just
himself
clicked.
because he's losing it so much, who,
That also went down
then
the
he
wrong
said
pipe.
that, and I'm just like, oh, okay.
How much have you had to drink?
This is my second marg, actually.
Oh, that's
I
fair.
don't know how strong it is.
Does it taste like liquor?
No, I mean, trust me, I know it's alcohol, but it's a good marg.
There it is.
Oh yeah, no, that was I had to go down that rabbit. I'm sorry. I'm
I'm sorry. You set yourself up for that school district.
Oh no, I that was the plan. Well, it's like when me and Steven did Invisible Man. That was my tweet. I did the whole like invisible person next to me tweet that everyone was doing with it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna be like those other guys who brought their invisible friend with them. I went with my girlfriend and all that. We had a great time. You wouldn't know her though. She's from Canada.
Also, she's invisible.
And also she's invisible.
You're an idiot. I love it.
We do some dumb stuff sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm thankful for our friendship.
Well, that's like.
What is the ratio of sometimes, Steven?
Well,
I
if
feel like-
sometimes equals 75% of the time.
Wait, for
then-
both of us, or just me individual, or
You.
me? Oh,
You.
yeah, that's probably accurate. Well, I say a lot of dumb things. I don't do a lot of dumb. I will admit, I don't do a lot of dumb things. I just say a lot of dumb things.
There's no
because-
such thing as dumb questions, just dumb people.
Well,
Sure.
that's like.
I just feel like on the podcast, I'm that friend that like is in the friend group, but like isn't at the same time. Like I just hop in once in a while. So like I'll hop in on a stream once in a while, and I do just to be mean to people, and then I disappear for 3.
I mean, if it
She
makes you
gets
feel
her
better,
fix and then she leaves, and then she comes back when she needs another fix.
I'm about to call
Basically, it's just
somebody
when I
out.
need to be mean to death.
Oh, who you're calling out?
Probably.
I was about to say, I've had 3 drinks, and I'm going to call out Jim. Because
Hello.
from my side of things, it was, hi, I'm part of the Har Har HQ.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm back. We're all back.
Last time I was here was like November.
Well, the problem is too. To be real, this podcast has been on once since November.
Yeah,
I gotta go back. When was
that's
the-
not even an exaggeration.
Oh,
Like,
Jesus.
It was beginning of the year was the last one that we did. Mostly because there's been a shit ton of stuff that happened. One, it was Q4 and a lot of us got busy. 2, beginning of the year, there was a lot of me needing to move out of my place because like noise issues and stuff like that. So that's why I have this. And then March happened. I got moved in, and then the
just in
shit
time
hit
to
the
get trapped
fan.
in your place. Just in time to get trapped in there.
Yeah. And then so I was like, well, I'm working a lot more, but maybe we'll all be more available for it. So,
Like, man. dude.
yeah.
It's been a weird last
Uh,
couple of months for sure.
The time frame that it took to go from normal life to what the fuck.
Yeah.
My life has
Oh,
been what the
quick.
fuck since November is the
Astonishing.
problem. Like,
Dev, the last time I was on the podcast was we reviewed the 2 Zombieland movies.
yeah, that was like October?
That was a while.
Was that
Jesus.
October or
That
September?
was a while.
I don't remember that because I was, not at home.
Yeah, because that was during the fires. That was in September, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Was it
Oh,
September?
snap.
Holy shit.
I think it was
been a minute.
September. Again, shit has been all over the place for everyone.
I mean,
Real talk.
Gonna-
to go back to the original start of this, we're glad you're back.
Thank you. Hello.
I'm glad we're all here. I'm glad both of you
Yeah.
guys. I'm glad you're both back. I'm glad that this podcast is back because hopefully going forward we will be doing these on Fridays.
Mhm.
We'll see.
May not be at the same time every time. Like, it might be 5 or 6, depending on work schedules of mine.
Or it'll be 10 minutes late because someone's not on time.
And then I have to do all of the things in like 2 seconds because he's fucking
Who's
late.
she talking about?
I have no idea.
I don't recall.
Fake news.
I don't know either.
Fake news.
I'm not bitter.
What's funny is
Bedtime, guys.
what's funny is that me and Dev had the conversations co-host, so not only am I late, but I'm late supposed to be in the number 2 role.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Whoops.
Yeah. No,
I was late making you dinner, Star. Like, let's get that straight.
Ooh, I don't have it on this
What was
soundboard.
dinner, if you don't mind me asking?
It was tacos.
Nice. Very nice.
Very good tacos.
I haven't had good tacos in a while.
Not gonna lie, Dev, you eating that ramen at the beginning of stream really made me want ramen now.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm still
Always
eating
like,
it. It's not
always
warm
like-
anymore, but like it's still there, and I'm still eating it a little bit,
but
and it's so
gross
good.
when it's
It's not
It is
quite
gross
cold.
when it's
It's
cold.
like,
a little bit. For the...
It's cold when it's neutral.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Like-
true.
What,
It's
one,
funny.
sorry. One of my favorite things was like TwitchCon in 20, whatever it was, when all
2018.
yeah, when our group got together in TwitchCon. Like, my favorite thing about that was just getting to try Soy's food. I don't know what it is, but I love getting to try other people's cooking because I cook a lot. So I love getting to try other people and how they cook and how they do their own things.
See, if
Like, I would legitimately go to an event between all of our friends where it's just like, we're just going to cook food for each other. We're going to have a banquet. And
I want to
Tell
make
you
my
what,
kebabs for you guys.
Depending,
My kebabs
depending
are
on
so
what he's,
bomb.
depending on what meal he's breaking out to cook, you could do a heck of a lot worse than Soy's cooking.
I'm just saying, like, I low-key am a great cook. So if there's ever a time that we're all together, like Har finally gets the chance to like all be consolidated in one area.
There's
we'll have
also
a cooking
I promise.
contest.
there was another
I
like
will bless you with my cooking.
work literally every time we have a potluck, because I did it once, is like, oh, we're having a potluck. Dev, you should make the kebabs again. And I'm like, listen, there's a huge production to that shit.
Be like,
No.
$20, then maybe.
Well, because my kebabs are
Ooh.
teriyaki steak with it's called Dork Jerk because it's Caribbean. It's a play off of Caribbean jerk chicken, with a dry rub. But I use kickin' chicken and New Orleans style and mix those. Then I put a dry rub on the chicken. There's peppers, onions, pineapple. And I know you're laughing at Dork Jerk, but hey, you're gonna love some Dork Jerk chicken in your mouth. So it's got all that on there. And
Don't
you grill it
encourage
up.
him.
And it's because you marinate the steak overnight. You put the dry rub on the chicken before you cook it. Like everyone at work is like, hey, these all play off of each other really well and everything. Like it's freaking delicious. And so I want to make it for people that I know.
So I have to check out at the steak first. And then you said pineapple, and I'm like, great. So they would give me stomach cramps, and then promptly.
I
kill
could
me.
take I can make specialty ones. You can have just the I can make chicken ones. I've made someone a veggie one.
I would say I'm
um,
vegetarian.
Yeah, I can make a veggie one.
Oh
like
man,
I eat seafood though, so if you threw like shrimp
You
on there,
wouldn't-
I'd be happy.
I can
You
make a
wouldn't
shrimp.
like
I
the,
can make a shrimp. Like use the jerk dry rub on the shrimp and see how that goes. I
you
can play
wouldn't
around
like
with that.
That sucks though, because you wouldn't like the dish that I would bring to the potluck, which are also a HelloFresh recipe that we discovered called Juicy Lucy burgers.
Ooh.
That is
That sounds tasty.
thick patty, cheese stuffed.
In the center,
cheese
right?
on it, yes. So cheese stuffed.
Yeah.
And then you top it with a red onion jam and a special kind of sauce mixed with mayonnaise and garlic and all this. Oh my god!
Your mouth's all watery. You're like, I'm hungry.
It's phenomenal.
Breakfast or brunch, I will blow you out of the water. You will never have had breakfast as good as what I made.
Oh, that's a bold
Alright.
claim.
Real here.
See, I
That's
can
a
make
bold claim.
Damn.
I can make a good breakfast, but it's mostly like I make bacon and egg and sausage breakfasts, with peppers occasionally. But like,
Hey, classics.
no, I do classics for my breakfast because it's I'm
Oh,
I'm
see,
usually
like,
just
I
cooking for
love
myself
eggs
though.
for breakfast. but I make a bomb breakfast wrap, and the secret is fried
Ooh.
onions, the little French's ones, and the little plastic.
Mm.
Some French onions.
See, I consider myself a cook in the way where I'll experiment and I'll try so many different things, but usually the first time I make a dish, it's gonna be burnt. Almost definitely. Like every
You
single
know-
time.
Next time I make anything.
That's
You
not
know,
a bad
yeah,
thing.
Me too.
I think that's normal.
It's like, namely, especially if it's chicken or whatever, and I'm terrified I'm gonna undercook it.
Yeah, that's how it
I don't want
is.
to die.
My favorite style of cooking is Hispanic or Mexican food, whichever you want to call it. That is my favorite flavor style. Probably Indian as well if I actually got into the spices, but like it's
Curry.
so good. Yes,
Curry's
exactly.
good.
I would
Exactly.
love
Yeah.
to make a curry.
But like because I can't cook, well, I remember there's specifically a time I was making burritos because I make burritos at home all the time. Where I was like, I'm gonna try this recipe where you do a double, what's it called? A double marinade where the first marinade is vinegar and lemon. The second marinade is all your spices, and then you mix it all together and you cook it in the on the grill. And part of the second marinade is yogurt, so you want to like get a thick layer of it as it cooks. All right, cat attack.
What the fuck? It flipped you guys.
I was trying to ignore it, but I couldn't.
I was half paying
Guys,
attention to you, and then I look down and I see the cat, and the next thing I see is
I was watching that entire thing while listening to Steven.
I was watching the whole thing. I just was like, ignore it. It's not happening. I'm telling a story. It doesn't matter. She can't talk because she's muted. But what I was saying was like it was this really good marinade and everything. And the final instructions were cook it on the grill. So it's like, sweet, I'll cook it on the grill. I closed the grill. About 30 seconds later, the whole entire chicken's on fire. And like burning, and I put the fire out and I flip it. It tastes good to me, but my dad hated it because it's literally all just carbon and burnt soot. And
Hey, I don't mind the burnt pieces. Like I will, if you're grilling, if you have some burnt crisp on there, that's some of my favorites. Especially if it's like
char.
burnt sauce.
I mean, if you char, like char is where a lot of flavor can
Yeah.
though. Like that's
like the recipe said, the whole point about this is being charred, like a charred chicken. And
Yum.
I don't think it was supposed to be that charred. I may have had the grill too high. I prefer like a stove over a grill.
No, I love
myself.
grills. Give me a charcoal grill. I don't like using propane grills. I know you have more control of the propane, but with charcoal, you get that extra smoke to it that you don't get with the propane. Sorry, Hank Hill, but you're a liar.
one of the
Propane and propane accessories.
I
It's
sell
one of the-
cocaine and
it's one of the
cocaine
reg-
accessories.
one of the regrets about having an apartment is
Steven?
I mean we could own a grill, but we don't have space to store it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a George Foreman grill, so close second, but or you know maybe third in all reality, but yeah, I can't wait to have a grill.
On. Steven's frozen for me.
Oh.
He is for me too.
Oh,
Okay.
same.
If you hear
What a
us,
post.
Is he
So-
gonna change shirts again? Last time I was here.
I forgot that. That was so awesome.
Dude, Freeze, come back and just different T-shirt, different color, just something you want.
I remember this too.
That was awesome. Let's be real though.
Like, I didn't notice until about 2 or 3 in.
Could you hear me at all?
No.
No.
None.
That fucking sucks because I was sitting here like, I hear all of your conversations. This is a nice conversation to be having. And then suddenly out of nowhere, you can't hear me.
Return of the shirt changing hero.
No.
I did it again.
Oh.
Now hang on. Now the question is, now that he's known what we're talking about, did he?
He knew.
Did it happen to
Is it
him, or
gonna-
did he do it?
No, he did. He
He
was.
had to
He
have
doesn't.
done it.
He doesn't do it. I will say that.
He doesn't
Steven.
do it.
Steven's not in control of the freeze, but he will take advantage of the freeze. I will say that.
Say, like, so then that makes me even more impressed because I honestly was convinced about halfway through the last time this went down
That he was
that
doing
that
on
he was
purpose,
doing it on
right?
purpose. Because I mean, like, who does that and it's not orchestrated to some degree?
See, Steven doesn't cause tech issues, but if the tech issue creates comedy, he will take advantage of the tech issue. which is fair. I'll admit.
Oh,
He's totally
man.
changing his shirt right
No,
now.
without a doubt, he probably is. I'm not gonna.
Putting
I'm
on a
not.
jacket.
He's probably
or
hearing
a
every
hat.
word we say, so make it
No,
a good
without
shirt.
a doubt.
Better be.
I know him too well to know that is exactly what he's doing.
Oh my gosh. Uh-oh.
Wait for it. Here it comes.
Wait.
Oh no,
Oh,
he
no.
didn't. He did.
Ah.
I thought he would.
He did it just, he did it
Debated.
just to prove us wrong. He heard every word. He did it just to prove us wrong.
Yes, I totally didn't hear you talking about me changing shirts and randomly being a better cup. Not at all. God, I hate my internet.
Can't relate.
Yeah, you got upgraded to
Nice
fucking
fiber optic.
fiber.
I can no longer relate, thankfully.
Okay, I gotta brag about this for a second because it's the
Please
one
do.
thing that I am excited about.
Oh, brag
I
away.
get fiber
Brag
optic
away.
internet for $40 a month.
Oh my god!
Only 40.
And what?
Yeah. I'm
Seriously?
So jealous.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I
I'm
wish
serious.
I was gonna get if we had it installed at this place already, I was going to get like 100 up, 100 down for only like 60.
Yeah,
Are
I
you-
got
for fiber.
160 up, 120 down.
So I have a question.
I have an
Okay.
answer.
Were you sold the fiber optic from your actual retailer or like the person who gives you your internet service?
So my internet provider does fiber optic standard.
Okay.
That's what one of the
Mm.
local ones does.
I only ask because there was a while where I was a door-to-door salesman selling internet services for CenturyLink Internet or something, one of those two in Arizona. And we offered everybody fiber optic internet, but not everybody had it. We just told them, yeah, we're offering fiber optic internet to everybody, but only certain areas in our area had it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So-
No, I
because
have like the little
Same here.
because it's all about distance and stuff.
Yeah.
You have to be within a range, and the fact of the matter is that that little sales pitch is bullshit because you can say that, and the company is indeed offering that, but that doesn't mean you qualify for shit.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So
Right.
I legitimately ruined people's lives as a salesperson. I know that. As long as, but I still did it because I
No,
needed
I
money.
like-
Capitalism
paycheck?
at its
I mean-
finest.
I came in and like reran the fiber to my router and everything. Like
Wow.
I have actual fibers in my.
That's good.
My house.
Bullshit.
Oh, the one locally does like install like pipes and stuff like that for fiber. If you don't have it, like they will go out of their way to get you on their network because they want you on their network because A, money, and B, they're the only one locally doing fiber. So if my landlord allowed it, I would be totally getting fiber without a doubt instead of freaking I think I have CenturyLink, which I have issues with because I can't get higher internet than 100 down, 10 up without buying a fucking TV plan. And I
That's
hate
lame.
it.
That's pretty terrible. Yeah.
But it would be cheaper. But I'm never gonna use cable.
That's the thing.
Ever been
Yeah.
having lag problems, or is it just torrent?
I think it's just torn. I don't see any lag issues.
Let me check the stat.
I don't see it on my
I
stream.
think we're good.
No dropped frames. All right.
Your audio just cut for half a second, but
Because my internet sucks. What do you?
I know because it's your internet sucks. But it's like we were looking for problems, and that was a problem.
No, I don't see
we should
anything
be
on,
good.
I've had
no,
bad
Streamwise
internet and
is
I
good
Stream
for
went
me.
off
itself.
4 times by now.
Yeah, I don't see it on my end. It might be a refresh issue because I haven't had any
Okay.
delays.
Yeah, you said the stream itself.
No, yeah, I wish I had fiber. Fiber's so good.
It's nice. I'm not gonna lie.
My dad has
They
fiber.
don't
It's
offer it
good.
in my
brag,
area.
Brag all you want, because that's something to brag about.
Mhm.
It is. Fiber is the way. I cannot wait for fiber to
Especially
be
for the
everywhere.
price that I get.
It's $40. Like, oh my
Yeah.
No, it's way cheaper to use fiber. Like, it's
Oh, so like
Installed.
I used to have
Mhm.
a undisclosed large internet carrier. Right? Legalities.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And I was paying $100 a month for 4 up and 3 down, I think. If I was
Yeah, it sounds
lucky.
about right.
Wait, how much up?
Sounds about right.
Like
3
4 or
up?
5. But I lived in the middle of nowhere, so like the best.
Yeah,
of people.
I also had undisclosed ISP back in this when I lived in the sticks, and it was like we were sold 6 up, 1.5 down, and we're getting 1.5 or reverse that, 6 down, 1.5 up, and we were getting 1.5 down and like 700 kilobit.
That's
Up.
disgusting.
Oh my god! And the thing is, it's like they credited our accounts for 6 months because they're like, yeah, this package isn't even offered to you. We don't know why this happened and blah blah blah. And eventually, they got a 50 megabit package that we actually did qualify for, and it was only a $10 a month increase to the bill. And I told my family, I was like, yeah, you need to take this because even if we're only getting half that speed, that's still times better than what you have right now, and it will be worth the money. And they got the full thing, luckily, so it worked out. But yeah, it was bullshit.
Go ahead. Like, I remember when I was doing my door-to-door sales stuff, it was honestly one of the worst periods in my life because I would work 50 to 60 hours a week. I would only get paid minimum wage, like how much you'd get paid for working 40 hours minimum, because it was a commission-based job, and if you didn't make your commissions, they'd have to pay you the remaining amount to make minimum. So, and the whole entire time, it's like the conversation is, so you want an internet service? Well, we offer this. Well, this internet service is better. Well, let me tell you about how this internet service is actually better. Even though it's technically worse, they offer all these features for major cities, even though we live in a minor city. And it was, I hated that job, but I tried. But that was also at the same time, the time when I kind of developed as an adult more. I say it as like I'm more of a cynic now, for sure, than I was as in high school and younger. But like at the same time, I also understand like a lot more about what it means to make a living because of that job, because you had to make commissions to live off of that.
I think everyone gets one job like that. That's their like.
That's bullshit.
Man,
mine was a work from home sales gig.
Oh wow!
Like people, I didn't even have to cold call anybody either. Like they called us, and then I would take calls through the phone system. It was miserable.
Yeah, I thankfully have never worked at like a call center type job, but I've done enough retail in my life to never want to do it again.
See, I don't mind where I work. I don't mind where I work retail. Target's not that bad.
There's an exception to every rule. So good for you.
Why is the title critically casual? Did I not change it?
Holy shit, it is!
You didn't change it!
Critically casual?
Well then.
Oh
So folks, it's been a great critically casual.
We are back!
Yeah. It's not a Har Har podcast without any tech issues.
Damn!
Oh my god!
I was doing the cropping!
I need to drink more.
I spent the 15 minutes before the show doing the stupid cropping because someone was late. I didn't have time to think about that because I didn't know who was going to be on at that point.
He's going to blame me for that too.
You're damn right I will. Because I didn't think about it during it.
Oh my god!
Two Towers was an awesome movie, but I thought it wasn't as good as Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh my god.
How has no one said anything?
The screen's
How
frozen
has
again.
no one
It's frozen.
else noticed? What the fuck?
Perfect.
Dragon, say something next time, please.
Why? This is way
Neither of
better
them.
content.
Yeah.
Said something.
Star also didn't say something.
Just let it happen. Shrugs.
Star's like, not my problem, man.
I think the best part is that Torn actually has the capability of changing it too.
Hi
No, he
guys.
doesn't. He's not an editor. He's a mod.
Yeah, I think he's just mod. I don't think. Hi
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
Welcome back.
So on my side, I was fine, but everyone
was-
freaked out. So I was like, "Oh, my internet messed up."
Not my monkeys, not my turkey. Hey, so
let us have a podcast.
So
We let ourselves have a podcast.
hi, I
Yeah.
asked y'all to be here.
I think at some point is when you got to look at stuff like this and think maybe they should have been able to pass a test before this.
What is this, driving school?
And they changed the title.
Sometimes.
Har Har is back. Hey, it changed.
I know. I changed it.
Oh my god.
So what did
Uh,
I leave off?
You essentially didn't miss anything.
You
Kinda
were
more
doing
of
the
same.
Two Towers joke. I thought it was better but I thought Fellowship was better, and I think you cut out because you had your hand up like
yeah,
this.
That's exactly what
That's
it
all
is.
I had
Perfect.
to say. That's fine.
Cool.
Oh my god.
I did say Helm's Deep was awesome, so taste that.
Helm's Deep was awesome. So like you are correct.
That was
That was great.
That was about like 2 hours in until
That
we
was-
are
realized
an
the
hour
title
and
was-
40
That
or
was-
53 minutes in.
That was fantastic.
For some reason, my eyebrow's twitching.
He stressed out to that degree. That is,
Oh.
He got so riled up about the 2 hours.
oh my gosh.
Thanks, Torn.
And I
Yo,
God damn it.
I don't know if he bothers to grammatically correct. God bless.
I can't wait to watch this stream back.
This
Oh my
moment,
God.
this moment in particular.
Oh,
The last like 15 minutes of it specifically, yeah. I just can't watch.
Can-
wait
Oh
to
my
watch
God.
it.
can I change
Starting with
subjects?
when my
Yes.
cat
Please.
destroyed his leg on
You
it.
slurred a
Please
little
change
bit,
subject.
but yes.
Okay, so recently, I'm gonna get a little real here. So please, hopefully my internet doesn't fail on me.
Got it. We'll let you know
Um,
immediately.
Okay, so I was going through and I recently redid my income driven repayment plan for my student loans because, you know, student loans are expensive and you have to tell them, hey, I make this much amount of money and this is how much you should charge me per month. I recently redid it, making more money than I did last year. And I was like, oh God, I'm actually going to have to start paying my student loans because last year I didn't make enough money to repay my student loans. So this year I did everything. I was like, oh God, I made, and I actually wrote this down. I made a little under $20,000 last year, which don't get me wrong, isn't a lot. It isn't a lot of money when you
No,
think about it.
that's not.
However, minimum wage employees make about $15,000 a year. Federal minimum wage employees make about $15,000 a year. So I wrote this down specifically because I made about $20,000 last year.
Yeah.
And the IRS has determined that I don't make enough money to pay back my loans. I make $5,000 more than minimum wage, and they still decided that I don't make enough money to pay back my student loans. And to me, that's extremely bittersweet because I'm sitting here thinking, thank God, that's another year that I don't have to pay loans. But at the same time, I'm thinking, wow, I make $5,000 more than the average U.S. citizen, and they don't make enough money to pay back the student loans. So,
Wild.
yeah, like it's ridiculous to think that I don't make enough money. I know that. I sit here every single week thinking, God, if I made more money, what are the things that I could do? But at the same time, I'm thinking people who work 40 hours a week at minimum wage still can't pay off their student loan debt, according to the IRS. And that is ridiculous.
That's bullshit is what it is.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Capitalism at its finest.
Yeah, I was extremely
Seriously?
happy today. Like, I was like, oh my God, I don't have to pay my loans for another year. Wait a second. Pay my loans?
And then they're like, huh? And frozen.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, but what a look though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver lining. So, since he's frozen and we're having issues anyway,
I'll wait for him to get back, but we will probably
also we
wrap
might-
it up.
We might want to consider
Wrapping it.
Yeah.
T-shirt change. No?
If he
Yes.
comes back.
Oh, if he comes
Oh,
back with a
no!
t-shirt change, that would be. Oh.
I'm here, don't worry.
Damn it!
No t-shirt
I
change.
can tell every time my internet fails, so don't worry.
So yeah, plan is we will be trying to do these every Friday going forward. As long as schedules permit that, you know.
Can we do another topic so we don't end on a sad note?
Sure. Did you guys hear about the old man who was going to do laps to raise money and aimed for like only like what 400 pounds and raised like shit like nearly what, how much is it?
It was like 5 million, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shit to help
ridiculous.
the National Health Society, I think.
Something
NHS?
like that,
Yeah, I think it was the NHS.
I'm an avid Philip DeFranco watcher, and when he covered this story, it made my heart so happy.
Yeah. No, and like it's a heartwarming story. Like just know that people are doing good with what they can right now too. So
And like, yeah, I like the point of it though is you don't have to be a celebrity to make a difference. Like normal everyday people really can do something.
Like real talk.
Yep, exactly.
You know, that's my nice thing that I will say for this stream.
Yep.
That's all you get right at the end. You're welcome.
At least it happened.
Yeah.
It did happen. It happens
I mean,
once every stream.
Which is
I say something nice.
which is more than the expectation, really. So
I'm here. I'm the punching bag. I say the nice things and get ridiculed for it.
Yeah, you're fine.
no, you just get ridiculed. You don't get ridiculed for saying nice things. You just get ridiculed.
You know what? You.
He self-censored himself. Ha ha ha.
Such an original gag.
Fuck off! I haven't had the podcast for how long? Anyways, thanks for hanging out with us. I've been DorkyDev. He's been Steven. He's been Jim. He's been Jay. She's been Liz. Thank you for hanging out, and we will see you guys next week.
Wait, who's Jim?
Hello.
Good night. God
Bye,
damn
friends.
it.
Bye, everyone.